on YouTube. Thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for joining. I'm trying to set up on Facebook. I don't know why I'm having issue setting up on Facebook. Just a minute, please. Those that are joining, we are just about to start. This is Export Discourse. This is Export Discourse. If you are joining us for the first time, what we do in this program basically is to discuss everything regarding starting export business. We discuss everything regarding starting export business. So if you are joining us for the first time, remember this Export Discourse, and we basically discuss everything as far as starting export business is concerned. All right, Stage Yuli Media. I'm always struggling to pronounce your name. Thank you for joining. Sharon, thank you for joining on TikTok. Thank you very much for joining. I'm finding it a bit tough today to go live on Facebook. I don't know what's the problem. For those just joining us, the program is basically Export Discourse, so it's an interactive section. Kindly share the link with your friends and allies, particularly those you believe are interested in export business. Kindly share the link with them so that they can ask their question also. Yulia for sure, thank you. Okay, Dollar Mama, thank you for joining on TikTok. Thank you for joining on TikTok. I think I'm about going live on Facebook. I'm still struggling to get it right on Facebook. And this is interesting because the Facebook actually has been set up so that I just come in and click to start. And I'm wondering why I'm having issues today. But it's okay. Let's see how it goes. Okay, yes. I think I've been able to find the button. I've been able to find the button that will make me go live on Facebook now. Still having issue with Facebook. I really don't know what the problem is. The go live button is not active. If you are just joining us, please, you can begin to drop your question. Facebook is giving me issues today, but I'm live on YouTube and also live on TikTok. While I'm trying to sort out myself or sort out my issue on Facebook, please feel free if you have question. The program basically is designed to answer your question as far as international trade and export is concerned. So please feel free to ask your questions. Yesterday on the Zoom, for those that join us on Zoom, every Thursday we have a session on Zoom. And yesterday we had that session again on Zoom. And at the session on Zoom yesterday, we talked about how do you set up, what are the options available for you if you are trying to go abroad. And we've talked about starting with a representative. a sales representative. That's 2 weeks ago. Last week we talked about subsidiary company. But this week we talked about branch, a sole ownership branch. This week we talk about a sole ownership branch or a overseas sales branch. Peter Chinonso, thank you for joining on TikTok. Overseas sales branch. So if you join us and you have questions, please feel free to go ahead and ask your questions. If you join us and have questions, please feel free to go ahead and ask your questions. Kelvin Smith, thank you for joining on TikTok. All the people join us on TikTok, thank you. Olu Abayomi said, what are the means of finance available for exporting commodity by CBN? Very important question. Very, very important question. What are the means? If you are just joining us, feel free to drop your question. What are the means available? Now, Abayomi, I will assume that what you mean by means is the options that CBN have. When you say means, will I be right to say what you mean is the options that CBN have? Please confirm if that's what you mean. Please confirm if that's what you mean. The option that CBN have. All right. So one of the options is there is this program called export. They have commodity expansion facility. Then value adding export facility. Commodity expansion facility is to help farmers to grow their export volume. Sorry, their production volume. You know, CBN is trying to push something. CBN is trying to push the need for value addition. Now, in pushing that agenda, they are not oblivious of the fact that Nigeria currently do not have enough commodities to process. They are not oblivious of the fact that Nigeria currently do not have enough commodities to process. Because they are aware of the fact that Nigeria does not have enough commodity to process, there is need to grow or increase the volume. There is need to grow or increase the volume of production. So that's why they have the commodity expansion facility to be able to help individuals grow the volume of production. So if you are into cocoa processing, if you are into if you're into cocoa farming, if you're into cashew nut or any of the exportable commodities, and you want to grow your volume and you need funding, then you can access the export commodity expansion facility. Now, there's another facility that CBN have called value adding export facility. Value adding export facility is designed to help you process your export transaction, your agro commodity rather, to process your agro commodity. So if you have, if you are looking at exporting cashew kernel, or you're looking at exporting cocoa cake or cocoa butter, and you need facility to process, CBN have such facility for you also. Olu Abayomi, I don't know if that answers your question. Someone is asking another question. For export, is the rebate program of CBN scrapped? Yes. Wale David, thank you for joining us on TikTok. Is the rebate program of CBN scrapped? Yes. The rebate program of CBN is scrapped. Now, try to understand the idea around the The rebate was actually given because of the wide gap between the parallel market and the official rate. Of that wide gap is discouraging people from bringing in their export proceeds. In order to encourage them to bring in their export proceeds, CBN went ahead. In order to encourage them to bring in their export proceeds, CBN went ahead to pay citizens who are exporting and bringing back their export proceeds. Citizens who have idea around what CBN is trying to do, and they got a number of interested people who brought in proceeds at that time, and of course got paid. I happen to be a beneficiary of that also. But since the new administration unified the exchange rate, leading to devaluation of Naira, making CBN not to intervene the way they used to do again, and leaving the rate in a managed floating system, what that then means is that there's a closure of gap. So there's no gap again between the parallel market and the official window. I mean, the gap that used to be there is no more there. So what CBN gave before as rebate has therefore been scrapped. What CBN gave before as rebate has therefore been scrapped. I don't know if that answers your question. I don't know if that answers your question. Caleb, does that answer your question? All right, any other question, please? Remember, this is supposed to be an interactive session. If you are joining us for the first time, this is Export Discourse, and all we do on this program, basically, every week, is to answer questions. Different questions as far as export business is concerned. So if you are trying to go into export business and you have questions, please feel free to get your question. You know, I told you about the Eureka Pack. Let me get a copy. Let me show you. Okay, yeah. Here is the Eureka Pack. And I show you that we are launching a new pack that will change the face of looking for buyer. You know, people always say, I'm looking for buyer, I'm looking for buyer, I'm looking for buyer. Now we have the Eureka Pack, how to find buyer abroad. So with this pack, this pack give you this pack help you to find buyer in 5 steps. Number 1, it shows you the tool you can use to know where there are buyers for your product. If you are trying to find buyer, you need to know where do you have buyer for your product and what are the resources available that can help you locate where to find buyer for your product. So one benefit of the product is that it shows where to find buyers for your product. Where to find buyers for your product. Number 1. Number 2. Now, if I need a buyer for my product in the US, what's the next thing I need to do? The next thing I need to do is to, again, find the contact. Get the contact. I need to get the importers, rather. Who are those importing in that country? Importing in that country. Someone is asking a question on YouTube. How can one undo debt recovery? Extremely important. Having a representative at destination is extremely important because one of the benefits, among many other benefits, is debt recovery. one of the benefits, among many other benefits, is debt recovery. With a representative destination, you won't have to worry yourself too much about a buyer not paying. Why? Because you have a representative at destination. Who is paid, by the way? Who is paid to be able to do a number of things, including to be able to help you do a number of things, including getting a buyer at destination, including recovering of default payment at destination. So, with a representative at destination in form of an agent, in form of a branch, in form of a partner, you'll be able to recover debt at destination. Hanatu, I hope that answers your questions. Hanatu, I hope that answers your question. Coming from import and want to start export. Someone coming from import and want to start export. Information or knowledge to know before taking step when fund isn't the constraint. Now, someone asked me a similar question on TikTok today, and I responded by saying, go and watch my video on TikTok. And the person responded, how about you have so many videos there? And I said, yes. Look, the question is asking is not a question I can just type a statement and I will respond exactly to Muiwa. Someone is trying to go into export. Money is not a problem. What are the requirements? You should go on TikTok. Look for export doctor on TikTok. There are a number of videos available on TikTok. You need to register a business. You need to get an export license. You need to hire. You need to learn about documentation. All that has been documented on my TikTok page. Abayami said, how can I get an export proceed without NXP? Abayami, your question is not very clear. How can I get an export proceed without NXP? Are you an importer looking for export proceed? Are you an export trying to export without NXP? Your question is clear. Abayami, it would be good if you can expatiate. What if I don't have a representative in one of the countries you are exporting to? You know, in trying to get a buyer in an export market, one of the things you work towards is looking for a representative. One of the things you have to look for is getting a representative. That's one of the things you must work towards. Get a representative at destination. However, if you don't have a representative, my recommendation is get a payment method that secures you. If you cannot guarantee, if you cannot get a representative, so that means payment might be a challenge, then look for a payment method like that secures you. So if you cannot get a representative, you can still go ahead and ship, but get a payment method that secures you. I hope I answer your question. Julia said, is it discount? Julia, are you paying today? The discount has stopped. It's now 60,000. 60,000. It was 50 when we were doing pre-order. All the people that paid during pre-order already have their package delivered to them. But if you are paying today, I can talk to my colleagues so they can still give you a discount. If you are paying today, Julia, I hope you got my you heard me. If you are trying to pay, you can send message to the number 0809 to be able to get a discount. Like I was saying about that thing that many people say they are looking for buyers. Now you have a pack that teaches you how to find buyers in 5 simple steps. that teach you how to find buyer in 5 simple steps. Number 1, step 1, identify the country you are buying, the country where your product have a potential. Country, identify the country. Number 2, get the list of importer in that country. Get the list of importer. So this pack show you how to find countries that have demand for your product. Number 2, it also show you how you can find list of people importing your product in that country. The list of people importing your product in that country. Number 2. Number 3. The package also help you to get, how do I get available on how to get the contact details of those that need your product in that country. Having a contact is not enough. You need a contract. Converting contact to contract is a challenge. Protocol they need to follow in getting buyer. The pack gave you 26 protocols that you need to follow in getting buyer. A to Z. A representing something, B, C, D to Z. 26 different protocols that you need to follow in getting buyer. In converting contact to contract, in getting buyers. And then, so number 1, the Eureka Pack help you to know country that need your product. Number 2, help you to get the list of importers in that country. Number 3, help you to get the contact of the importers in that country. Number 4, help you to convert the contact to contract. And number 5, make recommendation for you on how to get favorable contract terms. Look, that is one of the best for us as 3D Thinkers. Is a gift we are giving to the nation. It's a gift to Africa, sincerely, and I'll tell you why. Many people that want to go into international trade believe one of their major challenges is getting buyers. They believe one of their major problems is getting buyers. So what we have done now is to show that the major problem is not getting buyers. This is the way to get buyers. When you have now know how to get buyers, you now have to go back to being ready. Inside the pack, you have a manual that shows you how to be ready. Inside the pack, you have a manual that shows you how to be ready. Inside the pack, you have a manual that shows you how to be ready. And you have a manual that shows you step by step of how to find buyers online. Okay, Yuli Media 0809 124 4449. 0809 124 4449. Yuli Media. That is the number you can call to get the payment detail and pay today so you can enjoy the discount. 0809 124 4449. 0809 124 4449. 0809 124 4449. I hope you got it. I hope you got it. Zero 0809 124 4449. All right. So those are the things it does for you. Any other question for me? Someone said, for someone that does not have finance, those joining on TikTok, we are on Export Discourse. All you need to do, drop your question for me and I will basically discussing everything about export. We are discussing everything about export. If you have shown interest in export before and you are trying to get answers to your question, it is time to get answer to those questions. It is time to get answer to those questions. It is time to get answer to those questions. So if there are questions you have on your mind, if there are questions you have on your mind and you have been looking for answer to them, here is the opportunity to ask your question. Here is the opportunity to ask your question. Here is the opportunity to ask your question. So feel free to ask your question, please. If you are just joining us on TikTok. Okay, let me answer the question. It says, for someone that does not have finance for container shipment, how would you recommend the person get started? Now, the person can start by rendering support service to exporters. The person can start by rendering support services to exporters. The person can start by rendering support services to exporters. How does he do that? How does he render support services to exporters? One of the support services he can render is getting buyers for exporters. It can act as a broker, getting buyers for exporters. It can act as a broker, getting buyers for exporters. It can act as a broker, getting buyers for exporters. If it's acting as a broker, getting buyers, it can earn a commission. It can generate his, and from there, it can generate his own capital. Is that clear, please? That is Chidi. Have I answered your question? From there, he can generate his own capital. So it should start by, and this is a very, very important opportunity. A very, very important opportunity. A very, very important opportunity for those who are trying to raise money to do export. You don't need to, you can render support services to those who already have product and looking for buyers. And like I said, by rendering support services to them, what that basically does for you, by rendering support services to them, what that basically does for you is to earn a commission. And you can earn between 3 to 5%. You can earn between 3 to 5% as commission. You can earn between 3 to 5% as commission. I hope that answers your question, Chidi. All right. Any other question on TikTok? Any other question on YouTube? I'm still having issue with Facebook. I'm hoping I'll be able to sort that out today or before the end of the program. Oh, I've sorted out my issue on Facebook. I've sorted out my issue on Facebook. So I've identified what the problem is. I'm live on Facebook now, even though it's coming late. So sorry, Facebook audience. I hope you get notification now and on Facebook. All right. Any other question for me today before we close? Any other question for me today before we close? Don't forget Eureka Pack. Don't forget Eureka Pack. If you know someone who is looking for buyer abroad, if you know someone who believes his challenge of not being able to export is getting buyer, if you know someone who is struggling to get buyers, who is looking for how to get buyers, tell him there is a Eureka Pack. I have found the Eureka means I found it. I found the buyer. Eureka Pack. I found the buyer. Tell them to get Eureka Pack. We are heavily discounting it. This pack has not just the 2 manual inside, it has 30 videos, about 30 videos on our platform online that demonstrate to you and show you exactly how to find buyers. Putting into practice what you are learning in the manual and showing you in practical terms how to do it. Almost all the questions you will have on getting buyers, both online and offline, have now been answered. It's extremely cheap. We are giving 40% discount. Instead of 100,000, it's 60,000. For those on this live that Yulia was asking for discount, if you are paying today, we will give you a further discount that we're giving before pre-order, which is 50,000 naira. It's an investment. You know, when you look at the market opportunity you stand to benefit, getting such a pack is an investment, a very heavy investment, an investment that can help you make billions, but you're paying very few thousands to get. You can make millions and billions, but you're paying a few thousand to get. So the amount you're getting is a lot more than what is worth. Any other question? Okay, John is asking a question. Can a tech savvy... Okay, no. Someone said, after getting buyer and selling contract, what is the next step? Who chooses? No. Immediately you connect buyer to seller, they are going to send an agreement. They will agree on all that. That's not your worry. They will agree on all that. So choosing the shipping line, all other processes is not your worry as a broker. As a broker, you have to connect them and earn your commission. The exporter and the buyer, before they sign the agreement, eventually agree on which shipping line are we using, what is the port of loading, what is the port of discharge, what is the payment method, what is the payment terms, what are the quantity, what are the unit price. You see all those nuances. The buyer and seller will sort it out. Oluwabayomi, I hope I answer your question. Someone said, can a tech savvy render a skill to exporting without him or her getting fully? That is exactly what I'm saying. You know, a lot of people that are in Yahoo, you don't, if you get this pack, you will make money online without doing Yahoo. You will connect buyer to seller and earn about 3% as commission without doing Yahoo. And you'll be adding a lot of value to the economy without getting involved in internet fraud. Let's say an automated system, is there something like that? When you say an automated system, I'm trying to understand what you mean. Do you mean automating the process of finding buyers? I'm not quite sure that can be done. I'm not sure. I'm not a tech person. A techie person that go through this material might be able to put together a system online that can go through those processes for you. I mean, in this era of AI, I won't say anything is possible. I won't say anything is impossible. They can code an AI that will do all the 5 stages for you. So, John, I will look. Don't let me say it can't be done. I won't say that. I believe AI can get that done. All right. Okay, any other question for me before we close? So sorry, Facebook audience. I identified the challenge. I already identified the challenge, and I will ensure it doesn't happen next week. I already identified the challenge. I already created the meetings. So apparently, the detail of the meeting I didn't put it in all the meetings I created from now to December. So I was going through the step, and I noticed there was a particular step I omitted, and I had to go and finalize on that. And eventually, I came up, even though I came up towards the end. But I mean, we learn every day. That's another thing learned for me. As far as Facebook Live is concerned, it's been long. I did Facebook Live last before COVID. So a number of things have changed on Facebook Live. All right, thank you very much, everyone, for all your questions today. Remember, this video is always available on Voice of African Trade. That's our YouTube channel, Voice of African Trade. Every week, the video are there, all the videos are there for you to have access. And remember, Eureka Park is selling. Tell your friends and colleagues and allies who believe their problem in getting buyer is their problem in going to export and getting buyer. Now they can get buyer, and they'll be able to eventually make their export dream come true. All right, thank you very much for joining today. See you next week again as I come your way. Remember, this program hold every Friday by 5 p.m. We are live on YouTube, Voice of African Trade. We are live on TikTok, Export Doctor, and we are live on Facebook at 3T Impex, at 3T Impex Consulting. Facebook, 3T Impex Consulting, TikTok, Export Doctor, YouTube, Voice of African Trade. You can join on any of those platforms. Thank you very much for joining on TikTok. Thank you for joining on YouTube. And thank you for joining on Facebook. See you next week. And have a great weekend. Bye-bye. Bye.